Away from Kano here down to the southwest, where the Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde says the People's Democratic Party remains strong despite current challenges, expressing confidence the party will rebound ahead of the 2027 elections. Speaking at the PDP South-West Stakeholders Meeting in Abeokuta, Makinde said the party has weathered difficult moments before and will do so again, predicting electoral sources for the PDP in Ogun State. Addressing party members at the Ake Palace ground, the governor urged unity, commitment and optimism, recalling how the PDP in Oyo State lost power before staging a comeback. Also speaking, the PDP's 2023 Ogun governorship candidate, Oladipupo Adebutu, said the party remains active and resilient despite recent defections to the ruling APC. Joining us live is our political analyst, Taiwo Osanyin. Joins us now to evaluate the PDP in recent times. Glad to have you join us this evening. Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay, yes. Now, moving on to the question. Yeah, I can hear you. Now, moving on. Now, how does the governor, Dr. Makinde's assertion that the PDP is alive reflect the party's national condition, especially after electoral losses and high-profile defections across the country?
Unfortunately, my brother and my very good senior elder brother, Seyi Makinde, the governor of Oyo State, happened to what we call trying to paint a picture that does not currently exist in the People's Democratic Party. It is only politically obvious that the PDP, the People's Democratic Party, currently is facing a very critical political tsunami in its current political climate, considering the fact that I think from what I have now, we don't even know what the numbers would be. I think we have just 4 governors left. So it is just left for people like Seyi Makinde, who is just a sitting governor right now in the People's Democratic Party, to talk or to speak the way he has spoken, representing the party he actually carries, he currently is. But unfortunately, what we have in the PDP today is a party that failed to galvanize and to try to ensure that there was a peaceful coexistence in the party generally before resulting to this current declination of the party. And what happened yesterday in Ogun State is just peradventure what I call a kind of revamp, sort of. But realistically, what is happening currently in the PDP is far beyond this revamp, this caricature revamp. The PDP really needs right now to sit down as a party and reinforce itself as a teaming opposition for the forthcoming election, and not with this kangaroo revamp that is going on right now.
Now, following up on what you just said, now, do you think the PDP's recovery story in Oyo State can realistically serve as the national template for rebuilding the party ahead of the 2027 general elections?
Unfortunately, going by what is currently happening,
yes,
I am scared to say that it will be a miraculous event. It's going to be it's called political miracle, even if the PDP happens to be on the political ballot in 2027, considering what is happening right now, with different factions, different political groups in the PDP creating different chaos. And this is already seen even in the Ekiti state election, whereby the political candidate is not even on the ballot, if I'm not wrong, at least for speaking as of now. So it only shows that if would the PDP even be on the ballot come 2027 elections, that's a critical question. Because if this infighting continues, I do not personally see them on the ballot, and I don't see them as a thriving opposition for the ruling APC or any other opposition parties like the ADC and other parties that are coming up in the forthcoming general elections.
Well, speaking of which, now, what do you think the struggle, what does the struggle for this relevance now in Ogun State say about the PDP's wider challenge of competing with the APC in traditionally competitive or swing states nationwide?
Well, for state like Ogun State, we've had a bit of kind of competitive position of the PDP in the past elections, from right from 1999 down to 2023. But unfortunately, what we see today is a reoccurrence of probably some kind of lack of proper coordination. Let me use that word, proper coordination from the party itself. Because if you look at the Southwest in general, it's the only Makinde is the only sitting governor that is in the PDP right now. In the Southwest, we have 4 governors in the All Progressive Congress and one governor in the Accord Party, that's Adeleke. And so if you look at this trajectory, it's very difficult to say that the PDP even has a stronghold in the regional base as a party. That's number one. Secondly, if you look at it from the perspective of political galvanization and political rearrangement, I do not see what is happening now in Ogun State and even the People's Democratic Party in Ogun State as a party that is even organized, because what is currently happening is that we have different factions in even the same Ogun State, and this was even reoccurring in the last election in 2023, where the national party had to come together to come to a realization. If these are not well solved, if these situations are not properly solved before the main elections or general elections in 2027, the PDP will just be a kind of rubbling tool around political actors, and then they will become totally irrelevant. And that is my fear, because for a party like the People's Democratic Party, who once possessed power in the national and some other states, have become a caricature of itself, trying to see how to get his house together is a very declining state in our political climate. However, my final conclusion will be that the PDP as a party and as an opposition party should sit together and resolve their problems, their national issues, right from their members in terms of the different factions, and those who feel that they owe the party in Jungula, and sit on how to work together as a one party in ensuring that they succeed in the forthcoming general election. Without this is going to just be a walk in the park for other political parties, most especially the All Progressive Congress, who is the ruling party at the moment.
Okay, and now let's not digress now. Speaking of Makinde's now, what significance is the regional leadership, his influence now in regional leadership in the Southwest to the People's Democratic Party's ability to reposition itself as a credible national position?
Well, for Seyi Makinde, he's the only sitting governor in the People's Democratic Party in the Southwest. So that automatically puts him in the pivotal position as the opposition party in terms of the People's Democratic Party head. But in the real sense of it, does Seyi Makinde really have a voice? Well, in realistically speaking, he happens to be one of the voices of the opposition. At least I think just last week he was at the villa to see the president, and the claim is that it was on governance and things like that, which is fine. But on the flip side, does Seyi Makinde himself have the power to actually reignite the People's Democratic Party? That question is quite a very rhetoric question, and it's very difficult to answer assertively, because if we look at it critically, because we have just about 4 governors in the People's Democratic Party, and we can't really put headship on Seyi Makinde, because we have some other governors like Bala Mohammed and I don't know if Muftwang is still in the party. And so it's quite difficult to say that, the People's Democratic Party have a head Seyi Makinde. But one thing that is very critical is he has put out himself, and there are rumors and counter rumors going on that he's possibly going to be at the ballot for the People's Democratic Party in the presidential elections, and might be a representative for the party. But for me, I did not see him personally. Though he has the clout in Oyo State, he has the political ground in Oyo State, but as a regional, I personally do not see him.
Yes, well, I wish we could go on and on, but due to no time constraints, we'll have to stop right here. But a very big thank you for joining us. We are just joined by Taiwo Osanyin, who is one of our political analysts. Glad to have you join us.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure, my brother.